everybody get to your local store and get online to pre-order the pre-order the pre-order the pre-order get the pre-order the pre-order the SNES Classic. Ah! Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Wormy. And that's right, we're gonna have to get online or get to your local stores and pre-order the pre-order of a pre-order to get a pre-order of your SNES Classic that we all desperately want and are seeking. Because we know Nintendo is making an artificial scarcity of this item and the demand is just going through the roof already. Because if you haven't noticed, if you go on eBay, you can find SNES Classics on eBay already. How is that even possible? Let me tell you how that's possible. Basically, people are, they are so good at this. The scalpers, they're just so good at it. They just know exactly that pristine second that the pre-order will become available, and they'll just scalp it right up and then sell it on eBay for an arm and a leg. So basically, essentially, you're pre-ordering a pre-order. So scalpers, they're gonna get first in line to pre-order the item, and they're gonna put it on eBay. And right now on eBay you can click and buy it, but it's essentially you're pre-ordering it. So you're gonna pre-order their pre-order of an item. So you gotta pre-order the pre-order, which is what I've been saying for a long time. Pretty soon to get items you're gonna have to pre-order a pre-order, and it's just insane. So, and what's even more so is the price. SNES Classic, $80. They're going on eBay for $300 and they're not even out yet. They don't even come out until September, end of September. It's just absurd. It's insanely absurd. And who's to blame? Who's to blame? You have Nintendo, who primarily is to blame because they're making the artificial scarcity of an item, which is driving up demand. So they could just as easily make so much more to meet demand. It's going to sell out. I guess, if they make a certain amount and they all sell out immediately, pre-orders sell out, stores are sold out, it looks good for a company. They don't lose anything. But the demand, they're making this much, but the demand's way up here. So even if they quadrupled the production rate of it, they'll still sell out. It's in such a high demand. The NES Classic, look at that. I mean, I think, from what I understood, they sold a couple million. That's a huge lot. They just sold out and you couldn't find them anywhere. I mean, pre-orders were completely sold out. Funny thing is that me and my buddy were in stores and we just happened to come across a NES Classic was just sitting at the bottom of the shelf, and we're like, is that an NES Classic? This was like 3 months ago by now? 2 months ago? Anyways, we just saw it there. It was like hitting a gold mine, just sitting there all by its lonesome. So we snagged that up, and of course we didn't sell it. We didn't buy it to resell it. We wanted to play with it, That's what they're designed for. And scalpers are just buying them. They just know the market. Nintendo is just feeding it to the scalpers. And I'm almost at the point where I just think that it's Nintendo who are the scalpers. They're creating this limited supply of these items, and they're getting them. They have first dibs on everything, and they're just reselling them themselves. They're getting it for $80 or even less because they're part of the company, who knows, but then they're just under a different name, they're just reselling it for like $300. You got Nintendo, who's entirely to blame, well, majority of it to blame. I mean, they do with everything, like with the amiibos. I mean, the Majora's Mask amiibo that just came out for the Nintendo Switch for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, where if you scan through the Switch, you get the Fierce Deity armor, and I tried to pre-order it. Pre-order was just instantly sold out. And I don't know when the pre-order comes. You don't know when. It just says available on this date. But the pre-order if you're not just, searching the internet every second of your life, you're going to miss the pre-order. And they sell it in 5 minutes. So pre-order's gone. And I tried to get I went there Best Buy day one in the morning. Nothing. Not one amiibo that came in for Link for Breath of the Wild that morning. I was first there. I would think I'd at least get one. Nothing. All gone. They just didn't have them. They just didn't have enough. This is just Nintendo doing this. And then scalpers are just buying them up. They're buying them in bulk, selling them for an arm and a leg, and they know they can. They can get away with it because Nintendo is creating this demand for these items that people want. So the scalpers are eating it up. It's like a feeding ground for scalpers. And even if you just buy one and resell it right away, you're a scalper. I'm sorry, you're scalping, and you're a scalper. Now, I understand there are people who resell games. I can get that, you know? Nintendo 64 games. Nintendo's not making them anymore. Where are you gonna get them? You gotta buy them from other people. So, you know, people who have a collection are, you know, gonna resell their collection. That's entirely acceptable, you know? Prices are gonna vary. They're gonna increase. Sometimes they get too high, and sometimes they get really low. So that's acceptable. That's understandable. That's how you trade, you know, through the market of video games and just collectible stuff. But when you buy something that's brand new, you know, day one, or pre-order it, and you just buy a whole bunch of it, or you buy one and you're buying it to resell it, you're scalping it. You're a scalper. Ah! And maybe I could understand if you're buying it and selling it for $20 more. Okay, maybe that's reasonable. Maybe I could justify, like, okay, I couldn't get it, you know, they got to it first. Understandable, you know, they have the right to it, they got to it first. And they want to make a little money, you know, because they want the time and effort they put in the work to get the item first. So, you know, if it's $80, they sell it for $100, you know, $20. It's like, okay, I can understand that. Maybe, I don't know, but it's like a fine line there. And you know what's even worse is that we're buying it. Us, the consumers, we're falling for it. You know, the Nintendo fanboys. And I admit, I am a Nintendo fan. And I'm entirely a Nintendo fan. But I don't like these practices that Nintendo's doing. They're just creating this artificial scarcity on items and driving up this demand, and they're making such a limited supplies, and it's everything. The whole amiibo craze. Nintendo Switches you still can't really get. NES Classic, I mean, now the SNES Classic, you know everybody's gonna want even more. Yeah, they said, oh, we're gonna make it more. We're gonna make even more. You know, production rate will be higher than the NES Classic. Yeah, but the SNES Classic has more people who want that. More people want it. We all want it. Oh, Nintendo! Like, do you not hear us? We will give you our money. I get that it looks good for a company when it immediately sells out. And, you know, everything's sold out immediately. But even if you quadrupled your product, you know, it'll still sell out. People will buy it. People are going to buy it regardless. It's going to sell out. Don't you worry, Nintendo. I mean, I don't know if you're not listening to people or you just don't care, but I think you're the scalpers. I really think, Nintendo, you're the scalpers. It's gotta be. It's gotta make sense. I just don't understand how else we can get it. The NES Classic, such an awesome idea and concept, you know, a little mini Nintendo, original Nintendo entertainment system with 30 games on it, built into it, of all the great classics. Well, that was in scarcity. They really made a limited supply, but you could not find it. And so now the SNES Mini Classic, with all these amazing, awesome games. Star Fox 2, an unreleased Nintendo game, they just never released it. They made it, but they made it was a 3D version of Star Fox, and they made it right before the Nintendo 64 was coming out, which was 3D, and they didn't want to taint the, you know, they wanted Nintendo 64 to 3D. This is what it can handle. Look at these graphics. Look at what the future holds. So they didn't want to, you know, they didn't want the Star Fox 2, whatever, the 3D version, whatever, to taint it or just diminish it or in any way, so they never released it. But now, it's getting an official release on the SNES Classic. That's insane. People are going to want it. It's going to be super rare. Everybody's going to want it. I know I want it, but who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? How are you going to find out when it's available for pre-order? It doesn't say, it just says, you know, available September 29 in stores. Well, the pre-order is going to just come up and be sold out instantly. The UK version of it, there's already, pre-orders for the UK version were sold out in 5 minutes. 5 minutes! And that's going to happen in the US and everywhere else in the world. It's just going to happen. You know, people, if you're allowed to buy as many as you want, then why won't people do that? They'll just sell them for $300 each. They're going to make a huge profit. They're going to make a killing off of it. These scalpers, you scalpers are going insane. You're driving me insane. So it's really hard to pinpoint who's to blame. You know, we're all to blame. Nintendo mainly, primarily them, because they're the one creating this artificial scarcity and just driving up demand, like I said, you know, 100 times throughout this video. And then you got all these scalpers buying them, you know, shame on you scalpers. And then you have us, the consumer, who are just falling into it, you know, people who have such nostalgia for these items and really want them. You know, we're grown up and we have the money to get it, so we're gonna just splurge. We're gonna splurge. We don't care. We just want it. We just want it now. You know, we can't wait. If only we could wait, and only if we could just not purchase it, you know? Throughout the amiibo craze, I made a pact with myself to only buy at cost. Everything I get it at cost. I think there might have been 1 or 2 amiibos that I might have spent $5 more online because they were like, okay, they were kind of rare, and you know, well, artificially rare, I shall say, and that, you know, they're going for like $80. I'm like, no way, you know, I'll wait it out, and then eventually, you know, I found them for maybe like $20 most was like what I was willing for. But even now, like, but the only way I justified it was that I was buying a whole bunch of them for $5, so I was like, okay, well, I guess. But even that, I just can't get in the concept. So I always make sure to get everything at cost, whatever it's cost. That's what it is. Now I can understand, like I said, you know, in the future down the line, you know, 10 years from now, Switch games, Nintendo Switch games, that, you know, they might be expensive, they might not, you know. It's just like anything else from Nintendo 64, that, you know, if you want actual versions of the SNES games, you know, they do go for a lot of money, and, you know, that's just the way reselling games are, you know. If they're worth a lot, if people, there's a demand for it, people want it, you know, and Nintendo's not making it anymore. But when it's brand new, day one, and you can't even get yourself an SNES Classic, what are we to do, Nintendo? What do you want us fans to do, Nintendo? Do you want us all to scalp them? Do you want us to just raid the internet and pre-order everything? Buy. Do you want us to be at stores? I'll be at stores day one. I'll be there lining up for this NES Classic. I don't know, Nintendo, you're driving me insane. You're driving me insane. What are we gonna do? Nintendo, please change your ways. You know, I love you, but you gotta change your ways! Ah! So what do you guys think about that? I mean, do you guys even care? I mean, how do you feel about the scalpers? How do you feel about Nintendo, you know, making, you know, this artificial scarcity of items, not meeting demand of everything? And it's not just Nintendo. I can't blame everything on Nintendo. Majority of companies do this, you know. Every game company does this. Every, you know, type of corporation and company, they do that kind of stuff, you know. It's not just Nintendo. So a lot of gamers and, you know, the companies, they just do that. It's kind of, you know, it's a good way to make money. But Nintendo, you know, they have it the worst. They've been doing it the worst lately. They're getting a bad rep for that, and it's like everything they make lately, that, you know, we just know that's their practices. You have to jump on it. You have to jump on it, and if you don't, you're done. You ain't gonna get it. Good luck finding it. If you do want to get it, you're gonna be spending 3 times as much. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys think it's Nintendo who are secretly buying these and scalping them for a lot of money? I mean, they got their first dibs on everything. Makes sense. How do you feel about scalpers? I mean, do you? I mean, it's a good way to make money. I can't blame you, but I don't like you. I mean, is it our fault? Are you mad at ourselves because we're just falling into it? What can we do? What can we do to change the future? To get inside of Nintendo's minds and just tell them to please make more. What can we do? Let's figure it out. So, thank you for joining us today for another episode of Wormy Playhouse, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you again for another episode. We'll see you then. Bye! Nintendo! Gosh dang it, Nintendo, you do this with everything. I can't do